It's your Tottenham news and transfer window update with me, Harry Scarfe, Tottenham season ticket holder, Spurs fan, football content creator, YouTuber and football writer. Also, thank you very much for coming in here. Thank you, Chris, for this opportunity. If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. I hope you are all keeping well. Let's get straight into it. So if you're unfamiliar with how it works, read out an article or two, depending on the length of the article, and really go through and dissect it. It's all to do with the latest Tottenham news. So this one was literally really recently wrote in the last kind of 120 minutes, and it's from BBC, written by Sammy McBell, a senior football correspondent for them, which you will know of, I'm sure. And the headline is Tottenham interested in Crystal Palace's Eberechi Eze. Goes on to say Tottenham are exploring a deal for Crystal Palace and England forward Eberechi Eze. Thomas Frank is looking to bolster his options in the final third after attacking midfielder James Maddison was ruled out of the majority of the season with an anterior cruciate ligament injury. Eze scored 14 goals across all competitions for Palace last season, including their 1-0 win against Manchester City in the FA Cup final. The 27-year-old made his England debut in 2023 and has won 11 caps for the Three Lions, including 3 appearances at Euro 2024. Tottenham are also in talks with Manchester City over a move for Savinho, but multiple sources have indicated that Eze is now emerging as a player of serious interest from Spurs. There is no confirmation as to whether Tottenham will look to progress with deals for both Brazilian winger Savinho and Eze. Arsenal also have an interest in Eze, but currently looking at trying to move players on with the likes of Leandro Trossard, Reece Nelson and Fabio Vieira all set to leave. It remains to be seen whether Tottenham's active interest in Eze results in Arsenal accelerating the move for the English international. Eze joined Palace from Queen's Park Rangers in a deal worth £19.5 million in 2020. He scored 40 goals in 168 appearances. His contract at Selhurst Park is due to expire in the summer of 2027. So that is your first headline. Quite short, but if Tottenham can somehow manage to get Eze, hijack Arsenal's move, which I know I say hijack, it's not in like big negotiations, but Arsenal want him, hijack the deal still. That would be absolutely massive, especially if we can get Savinho as well. Sammy McBell not giving a lot away, isn't clear whether it be Eze or Savinho. If it could be both, that would be fantastic. I feel like I'm being greedy here. Eze would be my preferred, but I really like them both. Savinho I see is more of a winger and Eze is more of a 10, so deep down I trust my club and I back us to go for both. He says, I'll talk about Daniel Levy, but hey ho, I think Eze would bring a lot. I see Eze as a 10, but also can step in at left winger. I see Savinho as hopefully that long-term Son replacement on that left wing, although he played for Manchester City mainly on the right, but I think he struggled there, and this is part of the reason I think he's considering his future. So, massive news this. Whether it happened or not, I don't know, but Palace don't want to lose players for free, as they've still got another year, but they're not going to ask a lot for him. Palace don't seem to ask a lot. They just want it all paid at once, and they want it over and done with, is what I can seem to gather. Anyway, what else have we got? So, we've got a report from the Spurs web saying that Fabrizio Romano has teased Tottenham fans with the club's transfer plans for the rest of the window. It says Fabrizio Romano has heard something about Tottenham's transfer objectives this summer, which will give Spurs fans a lot of optimism. 48 hours can be a long time in football, especially during the latter stages of the transfer window. That has just been encapsulated by the huge difference that one sees in the mood of Tottenham fan base on social media. Supporters were criticising the club very harshly just a couple of days ago about their transfer inaction. However, that has now changed due to the excitement of Amis reports that Tottenham are stepping up talks to complete a sensational deal for Savinho. Fabrizio Romano then has revealed what he has heard about Tottenham's transfer plans. He says also emerged this morning that Tottenham have begun talks over a deal for Eberechi Eze of Crystal Palace, thus adding to the excitement of the fan base. Some Spurs fans might find the prospect of the Lily Whites agreeing deals for both Savinho and Eze too good to be true. However, they'll be encouraged by what Fabrizio Romano has said about Tottenham's transfer plans for the final week of the window, with the journalist refusing to rule out additional signings after the Brazilian. When asked if Spurs could sign someone else after landing the Man City star, Romano told Gimme Sport, "I've not been told it's going to be the last one, so I'd not close doors." Tottenham need more signings after Savinho. While Savinho would be an outstanding signing for Tottenham if they managed to get it over the line, it's fair to say that most of the fans would be disappointed if he's the last signing to arrive through the door this month. It's been widely reported that Thomas Frank is keen on adding another attacking midfielder to the squad after James Maddison's injury. It would not be ideal for Spurs to go into the season without a recognised attacking midfielder, particularly given rumours that Dejan Kulusevski is not expected to return soon, which is confirmed by Thomas Frank. So that is your second article. I mean, I think Savinho would be excellent. Firstly, it's good that someone hasn't shut it down, but Savinho would be fantastic. I just see, as I said, see him as a left winger. I think he's a really good player. Man City are going to make it difficult, you know that. See, Palace won't want Eze to leave. City won't want Savinho to leave. That's what makes it hard. A lot of money will be involved. We can get both. It'd be absolutely huge. So that article's really interesting. It's well written by regular Spurs web as well. So no, it was really good, and it's short, concise, but interesting. So yeah, Romano, not ruling anything out. I'll tell you what, let's read the third article because they're all quite short. The other one is Tottenham suffer potential defeat in Savinho pursuits despite advanced talks. Goes on to say as Tottenham Hotspur continue to step up their pursuit of Manchester City star Savinho. Contrasting reports have presented very different versions of events. It was a couple of days ago that reports emerged that Spurs are eyeing moves to Savinho, and the deal appears to have moved very swiftly over the last 48 hours. But according to reports, Tottenham's first offer of £43 million for Savinho has been turned down, but negotiations between the two clubs are continuing. Various sources indicate that Savinho is keen on joining Spurs as he wants regular game time leading into a World Cup year. Tottenham may have to hit a dead end with Savinho, despite reports. Football Insider has now revealed that the negotiations between the two Premier League clubs giants over the Brazilian are progressing quickly. The report describes the talks over the 21-year-old as being advanced, which have filled Tottenham fans with optimism. The outlet says that Man City are reluctant to sell Savinho, having signed him from Girona just a year ago. Having Pep Guardiola's men will not stand in the player's way if he wants to make a move to North London. Unfortunately, this positive report has been followed by a negative one. The Athletic report via the transfer deal sheet feature that Tottenham approached Man City about signing Savinho for a package worth around €50 million on Monday. However, City do not want to sell the Brazilian and regard the matter as closed. The Athletic reported on Monday that Spurs have approached Manchester City about the signing of Brazilian winger Savinho, discussing a package of roughly €50 million for his signing. City, however, said they do not want to sell Savinho and regard the matter as closed. That is the headline of a previous article. What does this mean then for Spurs' interest in Nico Pass? It was previously reported that Tottenham considered a move for Como starlet Nico Pass. It was an outstanding debut season in Serie A since he switched from Real Madrid last summer. However, this update from Football Insider says that Spurs have abandoned their pursuit of Pass after stepping out talks to Savinho. It is explained by Thomas Frank's men are particularly keen on the Man City star, as although he's a winger by trade, he seems someone who can operate the number 10 if required. It remains to be seen whether Spurs remain cool on Pass, with his Savinho interest potentially hitting a dead end. So that is your third and final article. So there's not a lot really to add to that in terms of analysis today. But I think Savinho would be a very good player. I'd like us to get Eze as well. I think we should stay clear of someone like a Nico Pass because they're always going to go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have that priority buyback clause. There's going to be a Como player or a Real Madrid player. It's very simple as that. El Canus as well is another name to add into the balance here, to add to the hat. And I think it's kind of a talk about an average player in El Canu. Good player, and for his relegation release clause, it's good value for money, but we can do so much better than that. Savinho and Eze is a prime example of that. I'm hoping it is both. If we sign Savinho, of course it's good, or if we just sign just Eze, I'm still happy with that. I'm not going to grumble at all. Both would be ideal. And both can play the 10 and left wing, but Eze is better in the 10, Savinho is better on the wing, particularly left wing. So it could be really exciting, and it would make sense. Morgan Gibbs White deal didn't get done, which we plan to get done even with Maddison's here. So we've lost Maddison through injury. Kulusevski's out longer, and Gibbs White deal didn't get done. That to me suggests we need 2 games, so that's hopefully something positive. But that is your Tottenham transfer news and headlines. Thank you very much for watching as you read through 3 articles today. Really appreciate your support. If you can support my own work, it means a lot. If you can follow me at HarryScar32. Across all socials, it means a lot. Football content creator, YouTuber, and football writer. Also have my YouTube channel, Harry Scarfe. You can change my Tottenham podcast within, also available. Multi-platform called the Scarfe Spurs podcast. Proud regular here at Chris Cullen's channel. Do quite a lot of work for other YouTubers at the moment, mainly for Chris Cullen. So I really appreciate him having me. For now, a massive Common You Spurs.